Hey everybody, this is Llama, and this is just a quick start guide for anyone who's just starting out with Rollercoaster Tycoon. So here you can find different options, different things. Let's go ahead and make some path. Right. Down, pause it. It's good to have a nice simple main path to keep organized. And to place a ride, click on this button. I like having carousel near the front. Make sure you leave enough space for the entrance and exit lines. First you want to put it in test mode while you build your entrance and exit. Your entrance line should be long enough to hold as many passengers as can fit on the ride. So 16 passengers, each tile is about 4 people, so we want at least 4 tiles for this ride. Also different tools such as adjusting the landscape, which is usually pretty costly. So that cost me about as much as it costs to build that carousel. You can make water. Right, so for example, if you want a little pond here, you can lower that. Raise the water. You can place some trees for decoration. Alright, it also helps boost some of the stats of your rides. And it's good to place some benches along the path for guests to rest, as well as some trash cans to throw away their trash. Here's a checklist of all the things you need to get a park started. I recommend going through this list at the beginning of any scenario. So we already have the paths, place some benches and trash cans, and now we need a food stall and drink stall. I like making my food courts coming off of the main path. I say court, but if you do something like this tends to have guests walking in circles. So I recommend leaving them 1 tile wide and avoiding complicated looped paths like this. You can go ahead and place 1 food, 1 drink. Use this to rotate. And you'll want some benches and trash cans around here for guests to sit down while they eat. To clean up the path, you want to hire some handymen. Make sure they're not mowing the lawns. I also want a mechanic in case a ride breaks down. Next on our checklist is the info kiosk. Currently don't have it yet. Show up on here. But we want to go into research and only research shops and stalls. Next we want to place some roller coasters. This will attract a lot of guests, even though they're more expensive. They usually make their money back pretty easily. So I like having them near the entrance so that you can have more guests going on the ride. I do recommend starting out with some pre-built rides until you get the hang of park management a little bit more. I'm going to show off this other path building tool. Allows you to go up and down, left and right. Make sure, or note that if you want to build a path here, you actually have to start on some existing path for it to connect. The path can actually go over and under as long as it differs by 2 levels. Show that off real quick. Right. If it's only 1 level different, you can't go over. If it's 2 levels, it can go over itself. It is useful for building across gaps in the landscape or going around and over coasters and other rides. So once we get the stats, you'll get an excitement rating, which will tell us how much we can charge for the ride. Usually I do excitement rating +1 to charge for the ride. So this coaster, I think it's around 4.5. So I'll charge $5.50 as long as we're not charging for the entrance. Charging for the entrance, it'll be about a quarter of what that is. Intensity limits which people will want to go on the ride. Each guest has different intensity preference. Nausea will cause them to vomit, so if it's really high, it's good to place some benches near the exit so they can rest. It's a misconception that bathrooms help with nausea, but that's actually untrue. Also go into building a very simple tracked ride. I recommend doing the car ride with a log flume, something that doesn't need chain lift to go up and down, because coasters tend to have more technical things you have to learn. Car ride's nice and simple, on a few spaces with the station. The longer the station, the more cars you can have. Right, and you can just go up and down, you can make different turns. It's good to have an entrance near the front so guests can get on and off quickly. An exit can be wherever you want. You can check the guest slots to see what they need. It's a good thing to do to see if a ride is too expensive, or if guests are getting lost or stuck somewhere. Alright, and that's pretty much all you need to know to get started. I have another video with, if you feel more adventurous and want to build your own roller coasters. Those are a little bit more complicated, because you have things like chain lifts, you have to worry about the speed, things like card ride and log flume. You can just build whatever track you want and it'll work. Yep, so I'll probably make more videos in the future, kind of higher levels. And I also recommend checking out other YouTubers like Marcel Voss and Dirklink. I can post some links in the description below for different tips and tricks. Alright, so this has been Electro Llama. Thanks for watching.